everyone likes to wear different clothing, but unfortunately that's not the case for everyone. My name is Ahtziry Speech. I am a student from ULAR, and I have the credibility to talk about this because this is my own research. I would like to discuss with y'all more about this community, about love, and let our violence end, and how they are an organization that would like to help children who are in foster homes, orphan children, and also single mothers. First, let me discuss with y'all more about this organization. Every Sunday, they do a food drive that feeds over 2,000 families per month. They also give out clothing in case if everyone needs it during the drive. They also helped over the Boys and Girls Club, Goodwill, churches, schools, and businesses. They've gotten help by Walmart and Amazon and by feeding the children. As for volunteering, at the moment they're not needing any volunteers, but I took it as a sign as a good way because they do have plenty of volunteers, as you can see in this photo. They have others, but others more. They also would like to get help from this organization by if you guys were willing to donate any food or any clothing because they want to use as less as possible. And they also want to get more information by resources so they can let people know that they want to let people get where their whereabouts are. Secondly, I would like to discuss my positive communication concepts. My first one is intergenerational communication. According to the Communication in the Real World 2016, is a family communication is our primary in between people of different age groups. As I pointed out earlier, this is an organization that helps over the orphan children and foster homes, and we all know that children is variety of their ages, and you want to help them as your way as possible throughout this organization. And it also want to help out single mothers to help provide their families, feed their families as well. My second concept that I would like to discuss is active listening. According to the Communication in the Real World 2016, is the learning process of receiving, interpreting, recalling, evaluating, and responding to verbal and nonverbal messages. As I pointed out earlier, you are working with many children with variety of ages, and we know we grow up during our time period that we don't like to speak what we want, but we know that since we were babies, the first thing in our thoughts is to want things. And as we grew up, we start to communicate with other people in order that we can get help for ourselves and also our way of helping them. And it's a good skill to have because that way you're able to know what is the person needing and what can you do to influence their life. Next, I would like to discuss my fundamental communication and my ethical implication. My fundamental communication is to improve by communicating involving verbal and nonverbal messages. The department communication of 2023 is all behavior is symbolic potential that includes the worlds as we speak, as well as our verbal tone of voice, speech rate, and nonverbal silence. A pause sign is nonverbal communication. As many of you guys know, that I know if you have some friends that will have this certain face, it's called the B face. It's more like when you look at the person and you're thinking that, okay, so why they're upset? But when you talk to them, in reality, they're not upset. And that could go with this communication as well. That if you're there to volunteer and you're having a certain face, even I know it's like a resting face because I have it too, and people will sometimes assume that I'm angry, but I'm not. But when it comes to this organization, you always want to have a calmly nice face, so people are willing to trust you and talk to you about them needing help. You also want to get a good energy vibe while you're there as well, because I don't know about you guys, but when there's like a bubbly person who is talking to you, I always have good energy when they're around them, as to a person who don't feel in the mood to talk. My ethical implication I would like to discuss is caring with grace. Is according to the Department of Communication 2023 is understanding and meeting the ends of people we're interacting with, especially that we approach all that we do as positive attitude, even if the situation may not be necessary or warranted one. As I pointed out earlier, you always want to get a positive attitude because you're wanting to volunteer in an organization that you're in a good mood and you're taking your time by helping this organization. You want to do the best you can in order, you want to help the way how you can help. Lastly, as I ended here, I discussed with you the two positive concepts, service and my fundamental and my ethical implication, and lastly, the mission of the organization. And I'm glad that I'm able to discuss with you guys today, and hopefully this will help with you guys to communicate with other people with this organization. And words have meanings, but I'm glad that this organization was able to change this order in a different meaning. Thank you.